Could you tell me something about the Three Kings celebration and the other celebrations in which costumes were so important?
Oh, yes, indeed. As I said, part of the reason for me getting involved with all of this was my effort to get my children to see it live with real people and not just family participating in things that were Hispanic. And I always had the Three Kings Day. The reason for it was I didn't need to tell them anything about Christmas, of course, but when I was growing up, because we were involved with the missionaries in Ecuador, we knew all about Papa Noel, and that kind of thing. But here there was no mention whatsoever of the Three Kings. So El Día de los Reyes was important for me to pass on to my kids so that they knew something that is so huge in Spain and Argentina and in Puerto Rico. In Ecuador, we did not celebrate itself as the Three Kings Reyes. They had a parade because it was the end of the season, so we had a parade, but it was called something else at the end of Epiphany or something. It didn't highlight the Three Kings. But for me, because my children were young, I wanted them to know that in parts of the world, the Three Kings are the ones that bring the gifts. And so they learned very early, and they would get a card with a little gift. Usually I gave them books when the Three Kings didn't bring toys, but they would bring books and things like that. And so, they would get a card that was signed by Gaspar, Baltasar, and Melchor. They learned to, and when they were really little, I just had 3 different types of crowns for the signature. And that was the reason for my getting involved. And so when we had a group, obviously we had to do that. And somehow, I don't know who was in charge of letting the newspaper know that, but the second time that we had it, at whatever church it was, it's a good bit of time, so I don't recall, we had the whole Three Kings, and the fun part for me, is the customs, the creating the customs, and because the kings are so, my goodness, so velvets and satins and crowns and jewels and all that. It's fun, colorful, especially here to, lighten up winter. It's necessary, as I saw it. So that was why my kids participated, and luckily we had a photo in there that I knew nothing about. I just knew we were doing it. But
Amen. Amen.